Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome down the Nook. It's Sunday, and I still have lots of samples, so I'd like to share a few of them with you. These samples came to me from Paul. We're actually part of I don't know if he called it tall tastings, but he sent a number of rye tastings, and I'll do 3 of them today, and then others when I get a chance. I know it was a great deal. I can't remember what I paid, but the point was if there was any proceeds, he donated to the Edmonton Food Bank. I think he got to about $700, something like that for proceeds, so right on. This will be I just poured out the samples. This is how they came. I've got a Millstone barrel pick, then a Taconic rye barrel strength, and then a Knob Creek barrel proof, I think, as well. They're all somewhere in that 57 to 59% and all rye. So I'm really excited to be trying these. If you've got some rye, especially some bolder rye, when you pour a little, come on back and I'll give you my thoughts on these samples. 3, 4. Thanks for coming back. I better read them a little more carefully here so you get a sense of where we're going to go on this journey. This one, the tastings was called Tall Tastings, and thank you, Paul, for inviting me to participate. This one is a Millstone barrel proof pick, keg and cork, and it's 54.7%. Then we'll do Taconic straight rye whiskey, barrel strength, 57.5%. And we'll chase it with Knob Creek Cask Strength Rye at 59.8. So I haven't had these. I have had examples of all these. Actually, I've got other samples of Taconic, but I have yet to try anything from them. So this is the first time I'm trying this distillery. But let's first talk about this Millstone. I don't know. I should have looked into it. The only Millstone rye I've had was their 100. The 100, I don't know, what was that? 100 months, 100 proof, 100% rye. I can't remember what other hundreds they had in that one, but that was a good rye. This is 54.7. So you know that nose from this Millstone is, it's got some good spice, some dark cherry type fruit. It's got a little something else, almost like a nutty quality. Maybe I'll nose each one and then go through the taste. So let's try the Taconic. Oh, okay, so just in comparison from this to this, it has a brighter spice, but also a bit of a youthfulness, a little more cut grass. Then we'll try the Knob Creek. So in comparison of these 3, this has the strongest cinnamon and a little more oak. This is a little more grassy, a little more vanilla and citrus, and this, it's got something almost funky in it. Like a little nut or something going on. All right, let's try the Millstone on the palate. Cheers. Very tasty rye. It's got lots of pepper and spicing and cinnamons. It's got a bit of burn and hug, but it definitely has, for me, I'm going to say it's some barrel influence, or the way they've grained it. Maybe there's some malt, like malted rye in here, because it really feels a little funky. So for me, that funky was like maybe a little nut, little husk of nut, the edge of walnut going on for sure. Let's try the Taconic straight rye, barrel strength on the palate. Much more lively, similar palette of spices, a little more clove, a little more, some savory to balance the strong cinnamon and cracked pepper. What I was getting in the nose, like some of that cut grass or whatnot, it's still present. It's a little bit sharp, a little bit I was gonna say eucalyptus is too strong, but a little bit of that menthol kind of going on, but not overpowering. All right, this quick walkthrough. Let's talk a bit about this Knob Creek. Again on the nose, a little more oak, a little more cinnamon. Try it on the palate. Cheers. Definitely more brown sugars, more like what is this because I know the regular rye is not that high rye mash bill. These tasted to me like pretty close to 100% rye. I should look that up first. Certainly the Taconic, but this one feels like we've got a fair amount of corn or something balancing it. So it's a little more well-rounded. Well, I don't usually taste samples that quickly between each other, but I actually want to put a splash of water on them and rest them. And I like to keep all of my videos to somewhere close to 10 minutes because who has more time than that? So I'm going to put a splash of water on these and then go through them again on how they may have opened up with a bit of water. So I've put a bit of water on all of them, and really I should have done my research in terms of which are 100% rye, which are barely legal ryes. But in this case, I'm just letting their palate speak and what my tasting notes are. So the Millstone, was 54.7. I've put some water on it. Let's see what I get. A bit of creamy note almost came out. That bit of that husk has mellowed. It's very interesting. But the water has really brought out grassy rye note. I was not getting that without water. Now, really moved it into that grassy, alfalfa cut, hay barn. Wow. Water really moved in that direction. Now, I'm perfectly fine with grassy ryes, but if you don't like grassy ryes and you have a bottle of this, take small sips. Don't put it with water. All right, now the Taconic straight rye. It was 57.5. Little sweeter nose. The water brought out some, what kind of sweetness is that? Yeah, like a little cooked brown sugar, something like that. Let's try it on the palate. Water hasn't moved it around too much. It also, to me, tastes like a full rye, like 100% or 95 or somewhere there. Like there's a lot of rye in here. It stays a little spicier than the Millstone, little pepperier. Feels a little more youthful, really. That's just kind of how it feels, the way it's moving around. Tasty though. All right, now the Knob Creek, it was 59.8. It continues to just really have a sweeter, richer edge of bourbon, right? So that's got that really lots of brown sugar. I know I said I was getting it there, but this is cooked brown sugar, caramels, toffees with hot cinnamons. And the palate is richer, sweeter, honeyed, caramelized. It still bites a bit. There's an edge of bitterness that's keeping me from just running away and loving this. That was a fun tasting. I don't usually go through, I usually take more time each one. Here I kind of really wanted to get a sense of comparing the three of them. And I have to say, if you're coming to rye and you like it, but you're really more like spicy bourbon person, this Knob Creek is hands down the favorite. If you like a little funk or something different or unique in your rye, this Millstone was offering up something like husk of nut or coconut or creamy or espresso, something in it, which is pretty cool. And this Taconic is just a good rye. Tastes a bit youthful to me. I'm okay with youthful rye. They're very expressive, but it definitely has a lot of punch to it. So thanks for these samples, Paul. Cool that you've raised some money for the Edmonton Food Bank. And I just really thank you for giving me the chance to try these ryes. And I think there's another, 3 or 4 to come. So thanks to all of you joining me today. I hope this gave you the sense, if you're seeing one of these on the shelf, maybe what you want to pick and try and bring home. And if you have any one of these or you did this tasting, why don't you share your notes down below? I love the conversation. You guys have a good week.